This is achieveradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/achieveradio.
Today, Joseph?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Well, today I am awaiting my DNA test to come back. I finally joined the crowd, and I know that for my sister, she was very excited about how she could not only look into her genetic stew of how and who she was and our relatives that went way, way back, but also she could, in her tests, she could see what diseases she was most prone to get, as well as her life expectancy.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, I am not sure that I want to know my life expectancy. But on the other hand, I think that that would mean that if you knew what you had to change, you could do that, and change your eating patterns or whatever else.
Or make preparations in advance.
Well, the main thing is that I kind of was researching, and the main thing is that Mom had said that she had Moroccan blood inside her, and she was excited about that. And there was a lot of French, a lot of Moroccan, and yet my sister came out all Norwegian, English, and Swedish, with hardly any Moroccan blood in her. So it's interesting how each family member can carry different genetics and different relatives of the past. And I suppose that would be the addition of your father.
You can find out more. You can find out more if your parents have taken the test too. It makes it easier to know what side, my sister had this done, and I don't remember. It was basically European, mixed European descent, I did send away for it, but I never did take it yet. I haven't done it myself.
Oh.
I keep forgetting to do it. You have to spit into something and then send it off, and I just keep forgetting to do that.
Mine was it came with 2 vials and 2 Q-tips.
Uh-huh.
And then you had to rub the inside of your mouth for 30 seconds.
They do mouth? Yeah, okay, yeah. This one didn't do that.
And then you put it in, huh?
Mine didn't ask for all that, no.
Oh, okay. And then there was the problem with these tests is that as you're checking out, they'll say, how about a test to find out if you're related to anyone famous? How about a test for this? How about a test? Well, I suppose if you can. I suppose you can have bragging rights about something, but.
Oh yeah, I suppose it makes a good story. Yeah.
Yeah. But the main thing is that I don't know what to expect, and I'm probably a little more prone to get darker in the summer than the rest of the sisters in my family, and I'm more prone, and I'm the only one I know that according to what I have seen, that has a psychic gift. And, you know, but then again, a lot of people have psychic gifts that don't ever, you know, become a living off them. So,
Or they don't
you know,
realize it.
you had to be
Yeah.
quiet about those things in the past. I talked to
Sure.
somebody, a medium, who was had an aunt who was very, very into the spiritual world. She was thrown into the insane asylum because what she had, she could not understand, but she was always finding herself seeing the dead around her and stuff. But, you know, the main
You
thing
also
is
open
that...
yourself up. You open yourself up to persecution also.
Okay.
When
Well, then there was that.
if people catch on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The witches or the so-called witches that got burned at the stake, who were probably not witches at all, you know, just at a very paranoid time of religious craze. Today I
Well,
thought,
up until not long ago, people lump everything into one thing. They usually say, "Oh, well, you're all Satanists," and that
Yes.
usually was the viewpoint. Up until not long ago, even when I was a kid, if you talked about things like that, they'd say, well, that was demonic. You see, you know, they used to lump everything into one category. So what were you saying?
Well, you know, but when I think about what that DNA test was to me, basically I was shaking hands with the ghosts of my past.
Sure.
Basically, I was shaking hand with the ghosts of my own ancestors. And I liked thinking of that. And so I was looking at celebrations. You know, it is a touchy thing when you explore religions and you want to discuss them, because you have to be so careful that people are not immediately, like the Salem days, persecuting you for and calling you a certain thing for talking about it. But today, you know, just because we are at a time where so many people all over the world are embracing the genetics and the DNA and shaking hands with the ghosts of their ancestors, so to say, I was looking, and there is an actual dinner for preparing it. Now, you can do it in such a way that it meets the standards of whatever religion you are. In fact, it reminded me a lot of Passover, you know. But the main thing is that I also know that a lot of earth-based religions, whether they are called paganism or whatever, had certain harvest days. And I would like you to discuss what you found out about one of them.
Well, I found something called, I have to make sure I pronounce this right. It doesn't look anything like what it is pronounced. Okay. Samhain. Okay.
Samhain.
Now, Samhain is how it's pronounced, according to the article that I read. But it's spelled Samhain. It looks like Samhain. Okay. But actually, it is Samhain. And it's a pagan religious festival originating from an ancient Celtic spiritual tradition. In modern times, Samhain is usually celebrated from October 31st to November 1st. Well, that's pretty short. Mm-hmm. It's to welcome in the harvest and to usher in the dark half of the year. And those who celebrate it believe that the barriers between the physical world and the spirit world break down during Samhain, allowing more interaction between humans and the dozens of the underworld. So now that is, the ancient Celts marked Samhain as the most significant the 4 quarterly 5 festivals taking place at the midpoint between the fall equinox and the winter solstice. During this time of year, hearth fires in family homes were left to burn out while the harvest was gathered. After the harvest work was complete, celebrants joined with Druid priests to light a community fire using a wheel that would cause friction and spark flames. The wheel was considered a representation of the sun and used along with prayers. Cattle were sacrificed, and participants took a flame from the communal bonfire back to their home to relight the hearth. Now, as time goes on, we have what's called the Christian version of this, and it is called Christian Samhain.
Christian Samhain?
As Christian, yes, I just found it here. It's in the same article, and this is later now. As Christianity gained a foothold in pagan communities, church leaders attempted to reframe Samhain as a Christian celebration. And that would be in the 9th century, Pope Gregory moved the celebration back to the time of the fire festivals, but declared it All Saints' Day on November 1st. All Souls Day would follow on November 2nd, right? And then, of course, we have Halloween. Neither
But
new
they didn't
holiday
have
get away.
Halloween back then, did they?
No.
I mean,
They
Halloween was much in the 50s almost, as that was.
Well, what we have here is now Halloween is considered new, just like the Christian Samhain. Halloween, they say neither Halloween, neither holiday did away with the pagan aspects of the celebration. October 31st became known as All Hallows Eve, or Halloween, and contained much of the traditional pagan practices before being adopted in 19th century America through Irish immigrants bringing their traditions across the ocean. So that's how we got Halloween. So trick-or-treating is said to have been derived from ancient Irish and Scottish practices in the nights leading up to Samhain. In Ireland, mumming was the practice of putting on costumes, going door to door, and singing songs to the dead. Cakes were given as payment. Halloween pranks also have a tradition in Samhain, though in ancient celebrations, tricks were typically blamed on fairies. Okay, so now we have then we have the Wicca also, and actually Wicca celebration of Samhain takes on many forms, from the traditional fire ceremonies to celebrations that embrace many aspects of modern Halloween, as well as activities related to honoring nature or ancestors. Wiccans look at Samhain as the passing of the year and incorporate common Wiccan traditions into the celebration. In the Druid tradition, Samhain celebrates the dead with a festival on October 31st and usually features a bonfire and community with the dead. American pagans often hold music and dance celebrations called witches' balls in proximity to Samhain. So that's very interesting. Now, sources here
now, what about the
from
what
the
about
BBC
what about the Wicker Man? What a celebration is the Wicker Man?
I don't see that here.
I was looking for that, and I did not see that, but I thought it was a harvest.
Yeah. Well, I would say that it sounds to me like a harvest type of celebration. But you know, the only thing I've heard of the Wicker Man is in fiction, and it was a horror story, a horror movie, actually.
It was a good movie, too.
Well, the original movie, the one that was made by Hammer Films, the British film production company back in the 60s. And it usually had a cast of like people like Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing and all these wonderful British classical actors. It was remade here in the United States in the 2000s or 1990s. I don't remember when, but it had.
I thought that was pretty good too.
I haven't seen it. It had. I
You
can't
really
think
should.
of the
I think
actor's
there was
name.
I can't remember who the lead guy in that movie was that ended up unfortunately
He's on
being
the tip of my
torched.
tongue. I know who he is. I just can't. I just can't
It's
think of
not
the
the
name.
guy that was on Dancing with Wolves, is it? No.
No, it's not him.
No.
This was this in Arizona. I can't think of the band's name. Is that terrible? Oh, and I've seen so many movies with him in it, and I can't think of him. Isn't that funny? But anyway, I guess it's just. I guess I don't spend a whole lot of time thinking about
So
these
I'd like
people
to
very much.
I'd like to add to that dinner with family ghosts. That's kind
Oh,
of what I call it. Dinner with family ghosts. In case you have a circle of spiritual people that like to get together, or in case you have really researched your family DNA, and my dog adds his 2 cents worth, and you might want to try dinner with your family ancestors, or as I call it, dinner with your DNA ghosts. Um, First of all, what you want to do is have a table or have some kind of shelf, or in the case of pagans, they like to call it an altar. But then altars are also Christianity too, right? And the thing is,
not
on
necessarily.
this,
Yeah.
you're going to place pictures of the relatives that you may have found through your research, going way, way back. Or, you may have a family tree chart. You want to put that in with the display of your relatives or your ancestors going way back. You may even be lucky enough to have a graveyard close to you, where maybe an ancient tomb is, and they're so cool. Some of those ancient tombstones are so awesome. And do
Very
a
elaborate.
tombstone rubbing. And you might want to do a tombstone rubbing with their name and put it on the shelf. Anything to do with putting something that honors a relative from your ancient past, or the ghosts of your DNA. Um, so here's how it starts. You are going to, again, put all these wonderful trinkets and charts and all of these lovely things on your dresser or whatever community shelf you have. If you have a spiritual circle and it's just a one-day event, and each of you have a phenomenal ancestor you want to talk about, maybe you want to just put a picture of that ancestor and you all contribute on this one shelf. Or if it's a family thing, maybe you can get kids who are usually very bored with stuff like that to be more interested if you say, well, we're going to have a dinner with the ghosts of our ancestors. Whatever it
Yeah.
is that can intrigue kids, and let them know that they can add to the collection anything that they think represents a country where maybe an ancestor came from. Anyway, now, step 2 is the family meal. The harvest dinner, whether it's with your family or your circle of spiritual friends, or maybe even just by yourself, you're going to serve food that represents the harvest with homemade bread, things from your garden or from the farmer's market, wine, apple cider, and here you're going to prepare the table with tea candles. And the more relatives you're honoring, you're going to have a tea candle to represent each family member. If a family member has recently died in your family, light a candle in their honor first and say their name as you light the candle. And for each person in your genetic family heritage, ancestral ghost family, you're going to say their name as you light the candle. And when all the candles on the table have been lit, then the entire family or circle of friends should circle the collection of pictures and related trinkets. And you're going to have the oldest adult in the room. Good luck on trying to get anybody's age. But if you do, make sure it's the oldest one or the family matriarch of the family or the group. And you're going to say a meditation prayer. I call it a meditation prayer, but maybe if you have a specific Christianity proverb you want to say in honor of your relatives of the past or whatever. But here it goes. This is the night when the gateway between our world and the spirit world is thinnest. Tonight is a night to call out those who came before us. Tonight, we honor our ancestors, spirits of our ancestors. We call to you and we welcome you to join us for this night. We know you watch over us always, protecting us, guiding us, and tonight we thank you. We invite you to join us and share our meal. And because this is a meal to honor and invite the spirits of your heritage, a serving of each food will go on one plate just for them before anyone else eats. And this symbolic gesture is of respect, courtesy, and heartfelt love. And now, over food, laughter, and wine, it's time to share those fascinating stories of Uncle Harry or all the berserk little aunts or uncles that you have. I think of the old show Bewitched, when the frumpy aunt and all those different relatives would come and visit her. And so anyway, that's what I have for that.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I think that the most important thing is to remember that when you have an event that is just a little bit different or a little bit quirky, try to find an open mind. Don't allow yourself to immediately go into fear, because there's nothing wrong. At one time, none of us would have taken DNA tests, right? Because God so made us each, and we are here, each unique. But the thought of DNA tests to see where our heritage came from, oh my goodness, that probably would have really been fun.
A pretty remarkable thing, actually. It has been a key to a lot of mysteries. It has also solved many crimes and has cleared, wrongly accused.
Oh, yeah.
So it also has
and
captured
released
people. There was a case, wasn't there a case where they were looking for the DNA and they found it on a family tree website? It was through one of the other, I think it was the guy's sister.
Did that.
Yeah.
That was very interesting.
That was, I thought, wow, that is really remarkable.
And I don't understand quite how that works, but she had genetically taken it. I don't understand it, but she had
it was found because I think they ran it to find out where it came from or what family it was, and it first showed up, and it turned out it was a relative or a brother or something that had committed the crime. But that was how they solved the case. It's really very interesting.
It is.
I think the main reason why, of course, we didn't do this years ago, because it didn't exist. It was very easy for people to get away with a lot more than what they can.
Oh my goodness,
now.
It was
Nowadays,
easy for people to.
We could find a single hair at a scene of a crime and get DNA from. It's amazing. really.
what about all the people that have been unfairly killed or
Yeah.
hung or
Yes, executed. Yeah.
executed for crimes they never did? It's just
Yeah.
baffling to me to think that um, I'm reading a Stephen King book right now, and I can't remember what it is about.
Which,
It's a
oh, is it,
it's about a man that is unjustly accused of killing a boy, and he's a coach. And for whatever reason, it's based on the theory that we all have duplicates. There's a duplicate of us somewhere in the world that dresses like us, drives the same kind of car, and talks like us. And in this situation,
a doppelganger, or a doppelganger, as they call it.
yeah, and that this
It's
man
a theory.
finds it's a theory. Well, it's a
There
theory.
are people that will look similar. Yeah, I would say yeah, but you're not going to find. I don't think. I think it's very unlikely that you would find the identical twin situation, unless that really was somebody's
I
identical
think it
twin.
would be
I mean, there are some people that do look a lot alike, but only in certain photographs, only from certain angles,
in
and you
certain
cannot see them in
angles,
3D.
yeah.
It's very easy. Yeah.
Which is why the airports have had this new rule that everybody has to have these ugly mug shots for their new licenses, in which they line up in a triangular way so they can
Oh,
look at every angle of the face so that nothing is just sort of similar to someone.
right.
Today we have a very quiet day. We have Anita though, and Anita is in the room. Hey Anita, what is
Hi,
going on?
Anita.
I was,
Anita, are you there?
yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Sure.
can. What's up today,
Hi.
Anita?
Well, I'm really concerned. I'm really concerned about my parents. My mom had a head injury and a stroke in Florida around February, and my family, like, real fast. She was in Florida, got her back to Michigan. The doctor said that she needed to be around family. And she has other issues as well. And I had brought this up because I had a brain injury before and a different type of stroke. But I'm like, if I knew what everything, then, because I wasn't put in the hospital or treated correctly immediately, if I knew what I know now, if I knew then, I would put down. This is where she was close to Mayo Clinic at the time, about 4.5 hours away in Florida. But they had her all over the place. And now they have her in assisted living, my dad. And I'm very concerned because she was begging to get to a regular doctor. She goes, no, I want a regular doctor because they found some things wrong with her stomach as well and her arteries. And I'm very concerned, and my dad says, body will heal itself, body will heal itself. And she says, he's doing to me what he was doing to you. And I'm just very concerned, and my family is really treating me rudely and badly, and calling me names, and putting things on a thread that are very, like, I have one brother who's twisting everything around, saying I'm elderly abusing my parents, and I'm very concerned. And I don't know if I should take some legal action to get some help from my dad,
Wow.
because they're like, you're mentally ill, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of going through. I just want to see my mom get the best health care, and it seems like, and everything that gets set financially the way it should be. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I live in the home that they were living in, and they're taking stuff, property out of there, with mine or who's ever, the family is, and I'm like, my dad wasn't aware of it. And I just wonder if you guys can give me a reading on that.
Joseph, do you want to go?
I do see a male represented by the upside down King of Swords, and this is a person you're being told to watch out for. He only has his own interests at heart. Actually rather destructive, likes to cause problems. And I do see this as a part of your past and a part of your influence, and it does seem to fit in well with what's... But, that's going to change. I don't know what you're doing legally, but I do see that you're going to work this out very soon, and I'm seeing it as happening as soon as, like really, really soon. I am seeing this represented by the World card, and that means that there'll be a complete change. Like perhaps even, you might even just move. There's like a possibility of just a complete change, but all for the better. All for, you'll feel this complete change is going to make you feel a lot better. And actually it is going to be, it's going to be for a period of time where things are going to be just fine. And I see this happiness coming in really soon. It's showing up as the present day. As we speak, these machinations are happening. So I'm not sure what's being done legally. And of course, I'm no expert. But I do see that you have cause to be in a much better mood very soon, if not like really soon, really fast. I do see that in the near future, that you're going to be searching for more answers, okay? Even though you're going to have this good period and things are going to cool down for you, they're going to improve, you're still going to be, you might find yourself withdrawing a little bit from people while you do make some of your own decisions. And you are being told to not make quick decisions as shown by the Hermit, okay? And I'm showing a 9 before that would, like, over the next 9 weeks to 9 months. Be really careful about making decisions. There'll be some important ones that you'll have to be cautious about, but you will do the best you can. And I do see possibly you might have some help with this, with somebody who is somewhat protective of you, and maybe perhaps someone that you usually go to because they're like a rock that you can talk to. Well, this sort of person might be helpful to you and during that time of 9 weeks to 9 months. Okay, Anne-Marie, what do you think?
May I ask you, how close is your brother to you and your family? I mean, how in distance-wise? Distance.
We all live around the same area. I did have a place in Arizona, but I had one brother step in with the realtor. We were going to have somebody, keep it kind of close to the family, and everything's in storage now, and I could never, I don't know, never, but it was just a mess up all the way around. I think she kind of, I think she was deceitful to my father.
Okay, Anita, I just needed to know how close. So the brother that is causing you problems is in the same area, you're saying. Okay, the reason I asked you that is the reason. Okay,
he did assault me last week.
Okay, the reason I asked you that is because it says a very insecure male is causing instigation, conflict, and problems within the family. He has no honor to you. He has no dedication towards trying to get along with you. And he is aware that his own position in being able to care for your parents is not as loyal as yours at this time. He is angry. Almost he feels that you've betrayed his image of you because he wants to think of you as irresponsible, and as if you have just a free spirit, no responsibility, let me out type attitude. But so for him, seeing you be concerned about your parents, he automatically is starting to assume that there's manipulation or something else behind your loyalty to your parents. He feels that right now he wants to intimidate you, make you feel small, so that he can feel like he has a reason to take over your position of being the one that everybody sees as being the loyalty to his parents. The problem is he wants you out of the picture. He wants to see you gone. And the feeling is that he will do anything and everything he can to make you gone. It shows that he is very impulsive. He's got a quick temper. He's got a quick tongue. And it shows that he loves creating problems. And so it says, like Joseph says, get the hell out of there. You cannot help your parents if the strife and the crisis within the family is at a high that is unfixable. You are not going to change their opinion of you. You are not going to make things better by being there. And my feeling is that your brother is going to find a way to do whatever he can to take over the favoritism of your parents. And so I think what I'm seeing, Anita, is like Joseph said, for your own good and for your parents' good. Perhaps the best thing for you to do is distance and get out of there right now.
They're taking things from the house and stuff like that and saying nothing is yours in the house. My brother took a loan on my parents' house. He hadn't paid it back. And my mom, for years, have been saying, tell one of your properties I helped you get and pay me back. And that loan's still out there. And they dropped all the loans back on my parents' lap just before this happened. My parents are in their 90s.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of people can't pay people back, but it doesn't mean that they're going to be bad people to the people that they love. I don't know, Joseph. What is your angle on this?
Well, I would say if you have a record of the money and the records of the loan, that really, see, the trouble is when this sort of thing is done with the family, a lot of times it's all those safeguards are not done. So if something happens to somebody, it's just a nightmare to prove. And it's a dreadful situation, but I do see that with the World card coming in really soon, I do see puzzles falling into place, and that is what that means, is that I do see that a lot of things are going to be rectified really very soon. And it's like they're already in the works, and I don't know what's going on with that. But there's going to be pardon?
Do you think they're trying to commit me? Because they keep on saying, you're mentally ill, and it's not. It's all my brothers and sisters. But I just read these things on the thread, now they got me on the thread. I don't see that. I don't see it in the card. I do see that there is the encouragement of distancing yourself from this. And I do see that once you do that, you will feel much better about this. It is a stress that you don't need in your life, that is for sure. And
you've got enough stress.
The card with the world does say that there's a big change coming in that is for the better for you. So I wouldn't say that that means you're going to be put away somewhere. I don't think it's
No.
quite that easy to do to somebody anyway.
No, but I
Like,
do
Yeah,
see that the brother, do see that your brother is very vindictive
I do
and
see
very
that too.
hateful.
I see him
And
as a
that
thing of the past, though.
and
He's
and this
moving, and
seems to
he's
be
moving back.
something it seems to be something that he is hateful and vindictive, not because you're crazy, but because you're doing what he should be doing. And you should be and he should be responsible, but you're doing it. But I feel that right now, if you want to take over, I would say make sure that you know where you're going. Let your parents know where you are. Don't distance for too long, but give it enough time to see if your brother and your family step in responsibly. You know, this is such a terrible thing when people get into their 90s and family fights like this break out over loyalties that they accuse and project are all created for wills or for money or for whatever. So my sense is this brother is somebody you need to distance from. Let him let's if he wants to be such a big shot, let him see what he can do. If he can, bless his heart. If he can't, you get back home. Okay? We got to get going.
Yeah. Okay.
They'll
Okay.
work out.
I just didn't know if I should put a restraining order on him. I didn't send that thing into the police, but I mean, he actually assaulted me last week, and I've never had anybody grab me and shake me and just, start trying to get everything out of the house.
The man has problems.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if I
got
can get a
problems.
restraining order on him or not.
I think I would just get away as far away from him as you can.
Yeah, that would be the first thing I would try to do.
Right.
I would definitely keep away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got to get back in the room.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Take care.
We have remember the dog Maxwell that we were reading on last week?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, she says, hello. Recently, I had to give up Maxwell, and I was finally able to get him back, but that he recently found a foster home. Do you see if I ever will get him back, or at least is he happy now? So looking at Maxwell, and he's been, he found a home. He found a foster home. So is he happy?
Well, I'm seeing that for now, what we have here is the Hermit card at the present time for Max. And I would say it's going to take a little time. He's fine, but he's got questions. He's a living creature. And he knows that there's been some changes made. And so he's behaving himself, and he's just, just feeling everything out. He's not quite at home yet, but that will change. I do see that, it's probably, he will, I believe that he won't be as happy there as he was with you. I'm not seeing that. But I am seeing that he'll be happy enough to be happy, and that he'll be able to adapt. I don't know if you'll see him again. It all depends on, I would say, if there's that opportunity, that would be great. But they do adapt to their families, and I don't know. I don't know if it's, I'm not really seeing that at this time. I am seeing a moving on, though, basically, from the situation for both you and Max. As you readapt to your new lives without each other, I do see that you'll both be all right. And you will miss each other, of course. And I'm sure that he will always recognize you if you ever do see him. Because, they do think. They're memories. But I do see it moving on. I do. Okay, Anne-Marie.
What I see is that, and I'll be honest, he's devastated. I'm shown that he's crushed that he left you. But I'm also shown, like Joseph says, within a week, the gentle soul that has him in her life right now, he will absolutely love her. But unfortunately, I'm showing he moves on again to somebody else within about 3 weeks to 3 months. And if I look at when will Maxwell find a forever home, and if I look at that, an approximate time frame, it shows after the woman he's with now, who loves him to death, it says that he will find somebody. I have 9, so September. September, that's probably why I saw 3. No, that would be, yeah, about 3 weeks. So I would say by 3 weeks, he finally finds a forever home. He'll go through his crash again. But this next person seems as if, I see this person as almost a PTS person, somebody going through post-traumatic stress. And I feel that the forever home will be somebody that is male and will really love him. And that's what I see. All right, we have Russ from Ohio, and it says,
Hi, Russ.
boss, okay, wait a minute. Wait, I have to go back. Let me see. Patrick, sorry. Patrick says, can I please have a financial reading for the next 3 months?
Wow. Oh. Well, I do see there was some big change in your life in the recent past, and it's shown by the Death card, and of course it means personal growth. It doesn't mean somebody died. It does mean that something did end, and yeah, sometimes it does have to do with somebody also departing, but that's not typical of what it is. Actually, I do see that there was a big change regarding your finances, or a big change all around. Perhaps you had inheritance, or perhaps there is a possibility of one. Do you see that? Oh gosh, I do see that there's a lot of spiritual growth at the present time. I guess something has really caused an epiphany of sorts. And I do see that you need to, I do see that financially, if you have a boss, I see that you do need to bend to authority at this time. So it could be something regarding a decision, regarding money and this big change, or perhaps you have a new boss that is a little bit more stricter than what you're used to having. I do see that you're a very nice person and you like to be liked, and I do see that has been very good for you. And I do see that this desire about wanting and caring about what people think of you is a very good thing for you, and it is something that serves you well at the present time as well. I do see that your personal faith in the near future might be tested by the moon. And I am seeing, let's see here, 1, 6, 7, 8. I'm seeing like maybe over the next year. I do see that you might have a lot of distractions and anxieties. But you are, I think it's more or less you being concerned about other people's bad luck in the coming months, not necessarily your own. It seems like other people might be preoccupying your time in that future. But I do see financially, you're going to be okay. I do see that I'm not seeing any warnings financially. I do see that you do need to focus on things in the future regarding matters of money. And I do see that you may have to be concerned about other people you know and their finances as well. So I would say you might find yourself becoming a resource, and the advice the cards say is fine, don't overextend yourself and don't destroy your own resources. Okay, be within reason. You do have to operate within reason if you're trying to help somebody else. You do. Because you can't do for others if you hamstring yourself. You can't. And you know that by now. So even though you worry about what people think of you, you do have to look out for yourself too. Okay. Anne-Marie, what do you think?
August is seen, interesting that you said death card because I got the same thing, but it's reversed, meaning no changes this month, meaning that I don't see you winning the lotto. I don't see that you will get a inheritance. I feel that it's a good month to maintain as strict a financial budget as you can. In September, I'm shown that there is a chance for you to make a little more money. Financially, also, I would not be surprised if you find that a car breaks down or that you have an unexpected purchase that may have to be dealt with in order to live your life. If it's a car, it has to run. If it's a refrigerator, or an air conditioning and the peak of heat, you may have to deal with that. But I feel that October looks very good for you. I'm showing new opportunities, new chances to try to work and accomplish financial happiness. But I'm going to be honest, August and September stink. They don't seem to be real great. They seem to be about the same. But you know what? You can make it. Just live on a budget. You'll do okay. And that's what I see. Okay, we have Sarah from Oregon says, hello. I am looking for a new challenging job. Can you please see what the cards say? Okay, it's 5:55. We have about 3 minutes, Joseph.
Okay, the cards. New job? She just starting it, or is she looking for one?
No, she's looking for one, and she wants to know what are the chances.
Oh, okay. Well, I do see that you're in a rather turbulent place. You're being encouraged to be forgiving of those because nobody's perfect. You have decided it's time to move on. I do see the Six of Pickles coming soon. Let go coming in right away.
The Six of Pickles?
A Six of Pentacles. Did I say the Six of Pickles? I must be thinking about
the Six
cucumbers.
Of Pickles.
Six of Pentacles.
Okay,
oh my
got
goodness. I do see her gaining control over her financial life. I do see that she will get she will be able to meet payments, so that indicates a job. Six of Pentacles is a very nice card. It shows increased improvement, personal growth, money. I do see you getting something very soon in the near future, and I do see cause for celebration with the Three of Cups in the near future. That shows abundance and good harvest. So I do see you getting a job. So keep looking. That doesn't mean you could relax. Keep doing what you're doing and keep doing it.
I'm going to bust in here. I show.
I'm done.
Okay, I'm shown no changes for this month, but boy, oh boy, I'm a really honest reader, and I'll tell you shit when I see shit, and I'll tell you when I see good. I am shown wonderful things for you, Sarah, and it's seen September and October. Passionate new opportunity, creative potential.
Oh, yeah.
September and October are seen as great. So we have one more that I think we can, I don't know, we have 49 seconds. I don't know. Russ, I'm gonna see if I don't know. No, we're on
How
the
about
green
one
light. We're on the
card?
green light. One card for Russ. One card.
Okay, one card. I got the King of Swords upside down, and it means that you have to watch out for a guy that likes to cause you problems, Russ. It could be a good
Okay.
friend who's a wiseacre, or it could be someone that you care about, but they're a big pain in the butt. Okay, you go.
Oh. All right. I show the strength upside down. Don't be a wuss, Russ. Stand up to somebody that's giving you hell. Okay. Bye bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Anne Marie. Welcome to Achieve Holistic, Spiritual, and Self-Improvement Psychic Radio. Here's a tip. Pull back your shoulders, lift up your rib cage, and tuck